Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Well, what is our project today? No, it's not how to install a smart code deadbolt. I've already installed that. Look at that. If you didn't watch that, see there? Look at that. Here's the you press in your code there and you can lock the door automatically and all that kind of stuff. I made a video of that. You can go to my main channel page on YouTube and go down to playlists and then scroll down to I think doors, something like that, and then you can go through those videos and you'll find it. Okay, that's not what this video is about, but what is it, Joe? What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to be replacing this strike plate here. And there's a very good reason why I'm going to install a new strike plate, and I'll show you about that in a minute. That's what you want to watch. Stick around. Now there's a perfectly good reason why I'm going to be installing a different deadbolt strike plate, and it came with this smart lock, and I'm glad it did, and I thought I might as well get it installed. Okay, here we go. Oh, come. Hey, what's the deal? I've only got one. Oh, here. Okay, good. I thought I didn't have the right screws down here, but I do, because that's for something else. When I get done with this lock, I'm going to save the direction sheet. I've got some keys for it, and I'll read up all about that lock. You can put 16 different codes in there and stuff, but this is specifically what I'm looking for here. Bear with me a minute. I'm going to pull this out, get the screws out. Now see this strike plate? It comes with long screws and it comes with short screws. What's the difference? What's the deal with that, Joe? Well, you look at an existing deadbolt strike plate. You see there? Looks about the same, right? Slightly different, okay? And that only has two small little screws in there that don't go in very far. They're probably 3/4 of an inch long. So your deadbolt is only as strong as your strike plate. If somebody kicked the door in, this door jamb right here would split and this would break off. This little section here would break off because these two screws down here on the door strike plate are only little short ones too. Now can you see that if somebody kicks that in, these screws aren't going to hold anything because these two little screws are only screwed in. You know, they're only as long as those short screws. They're only screwed into the 3/4 inch door jamb. Well, if I put this one in, can you see what's going to happen here? If I put this in, okay, let's get you situated here. These two screws too are not, even if they were longer, they would barely hit the 2x4 or 2x6 in here because the first ½ inch of this is sheetrock. I would have to drill holes. I would have to put in long screws like this at an angle so that these screws would hit the 2x6 behind there, not the edge of the sheetrock. But you see, if I put this one in that came with it, I can pre-drill some long holes on this side, right? I put that in there like that. I can pre-drill those screws, holes real long. So these two screws here are going to go right on those two holes. Because see how much bigger that is? That's to allow for this screw, see? And then the smaller screw heads, boy, those are some small screws. Look at that. They're not very long at all. Those will go over on that side. that's just kind of for looks. Those really don't do anything, do they? Ah, dropped my screw. I'm gonna have to find it now. But anyways, these are the long screws, and see how much thicker they are too. They're gonna go into the 2x6 behind there, so if somebody tries to kick the door in, the door jamb could crack slightly, but it's gonna take a lot to break these screws off, and then they might decide not to break into the condo. You see what I mean? So this is a more secure deadbolt strike plate than this one. Now sometimes you can get one of these which is a backing plate, which then has some other screws, and you mortise that in, and then you have another plate that fits over this, and it goes in. But this one is just all inclusive. You're going to see the screws on here, 2 screws at the top, 2 screws at the bottom. You see what I mean? And see, it's a little bit taller, okay, overall. So I'm going to have to mortise that in, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But this is a much better way to go. Can you get these separately at the hardware store? Yeah, I believe you can. Okay, so look for them. If your deadbolt is only installed with a small little strike plate, 2 little dinky screws, and I'll show you. I haven't even taken this out before, but I'll show you. See, look at that. That's all that is attached to. Now if you wanted to make it a little bit better, and if you only have this type of latch strike plate, you could take that out, okay, pre-drill a longer hole, put it in kind of at an angle, get some 1 5/8", 2-inch long screws with the same thick head size, so it would fit in there still, and put those in. That would be better than nothing. But you can see how much thicker these screws are overall than this one. That's why when I put these in, that's why they give you a fatter head right there, because that screw is bigger. There's no way I could pre-drill that and put that in there, because the screw head would stick out. See, I would have to, if I tried to use some screws like that, and if this wasn't big enough, I could pre-drill. Well, I could drill the top of that hole out with a drill bit, but then it weakens up the back, and then you could take a bigger screw and put it in there, but you could possibly screw it right through this hole if you tried to drill that out with a drill bit, you know, just the top, to try to allow this to sink in there. It's just not going to work properly. Okay, and that's another way you could do it. Some longer screws, the same thickness as this one, okay, and put those in. That would be better than nothing, right? You could do that on the top for a deadbolt, and you could also do it for your door strike plate, you know. All right, let's go to the next step. If you want to keep watching this, you know, I'll show you how to do it. Oh, that's funny. Remember I was showing you right here, and I dropped the screw. Well, I'm looking all over for it. I couldn't find it anywhere down there. Look where it is. It's way the heck over here. You never know where these are going to go when you drop a screw. So look carefully, and you'll find it. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so I wanna try to keep the center. Oh, okay. I can see about where I need to be. I may have to. I think I'm gonna put a mark here first. See, I can see where the deadbolt's going right there, so I know that's about the center, right about there. That looks to be about the center of the whole thing. Okay. Now I've got to hold that, and then I just mark it with my sheetrock knife. Okay. Okay. I think I can see that. Okay. So I guess what I could have done is I could have held that up there and put those two little screws in here too, and then scored it, right? I could do it that way too. And then get a little bit tighter score line. Okay, that's your next step.